I think all of you are looking for some perspective, right, on this debate and what we saw there on stage. And I'm going to tell you, I've moderated 2 of these things. And there's a duty, if you would, a duty to actually, as a moderator, put your own personal preferences aside and just do the job, right? You're not running for office yourself. So you got to be fair. And you know my point of view, right? Like, I'm very open about it, but I always try and show you the other side too. And, we look at it and we laugh about it and we knock it down, right? But hopefully you come away with an intelligent understanding of why something else is not working. When I've moderated debates, you know what? I have my personal point of view, of course, but I know that I'm there to do a job. And those 2 individuals that were on set last night, they were not doing their job. So ABC News should be just appalled. Unfortunately, ABC News likely is not. ABC News is high-fiving themselves. They think it was brilliant. They think that this is terrific. Even the New York Times, guys, even the New York Times, I'll share this with you, actually said that it was kind of stacked. Like, that's a nice way of putting it. Totally, utterly stacked the way this debate went down, because they were challenging Donald Trump on everything, but they challenged Kamala Harris like never. Here's the direct quote. There were almost no moments of tension between the moderators and the Democratic candidate. Vice President Kamala Harris and the ABC anchors skipped several opportunities to follow up with her on tough topics like the Biden administration's chaotic withdrawal from Afghanistan and Ms. Harris's shifting positions on fracking and the southern border. My gosh, are they getting paid by the Democrats? They probably are. Think about that. Think about the interest that Disney as a corporation has, the vested interest that Disney has and ABC News has in having the status quo and having the same team in charge there. They want Kamala Harris. For goodness sakes, for no other reason than the president of ABC News is like such good friends with her that she set her up on a date with Dougie Boy. This was bias on steroids. They were told, calm, cool, collected, don't let your emotions show, but go in. Don't forget, they also have earpieces on. I know all this, earpieces, so they're being told, you got to correct him on that. You got to correct him on that. And by the way, you got to correct him on that, right? There's a sequence of things. And so that's all they did. And I think to a certain extent, it was a collusion. It was a collusion where Kamala's team knew they had the anchors on her side. So if she could just needle him a little bit, and if they could needle him a little bit or a lot, then they would actually start to see him be frustrated enough that he might come across as frustrated, as angry. Well, you know what? He's a human being and he deserves to be frustrated. He deserves to be angry with everything that he's been through. And then he's got the mean girls piling on. Mean girls, 3 of them. Throw David in there too, with his nice hair. All 3 of them, that's all they could do was attack Donald Trump. And I'm just looking at it like, guys, you're not running for office, and you don't need to stoop to that. But maybe they figure they do. They have to stoop to that. Really, really, really disgusting display from these so-called journalists that are really just activists. At least over here, you know where I stand. And I'll always tell you. And sometimes you won't even like it. We get into these little things, right? And it's always happened throughout my career. Because, you have every right to your opinion and I have every right to mine, and, take it or leave it. You don't have to agree with everything I say. I don't always agree with everything Trump says, right? I love his economic policy. I really, really, really like it. And I think he's thinking about things in a really innovative way. But you're always going to know where I am. And the difference is with those 2 people that are used to reading a teleprompter, they don't let you know where they stand. David, that's so sweet. He said, we stand with Trish. Well, I stand with you guys too. I really do. And I got to say, she came across extremely poor, extremely, can I say annoying? Well, you already know how annoying she is, right? You already know how annoying. It's like she wasn't just annoying, she was mean. And so there's an edge to that I find really unsettling. And they're always saying he's mean. No. This woman had a meanness to her that really and truly has been unrivaled. And so as I look at all of these polls that are coming in and I see, people think she won the debate. Who cares if she won the debate? She didn't win on the economy, and she didn't win in terms of convincing people that she would be doing anything different. This whole new page that she keeps going on and on and on about, that's a bunch of nonsense. Because she literally copied and pasted from Joe Biden's website to put in her policy. Think about that. And the media doesn't call her out on that. They're never going to call her out on that because somehow for their own hides, they want her to win again, which I don't really understand, because to me, you should want whatever's best for the U.S. economy. And that means having a secure country, safe communities that allow for innovation and allow for a meritocracy and opportunity and all of these things that we want to encourage for our generation and the next. Kamala is the antithesis of this. I mean, heck, even all these Wall Street companies are getting rid of DEI, yet she's doubling down on this stuff. We're going to continue to watch these polls. My prediction is that she doesn't get the bounce, the so-called bounce that she's looking for. And as a result of that, when you look at these prediction models and you continue to watch Polymarket, she's going to continue this downdraft. As we went into this debate, you saw that V, right, where Trump was versus Kamala, and the odds of winning the Electoral College, they were so vast. Like back to the stage when Joe Biden was still running and she wasn't even in the mix. Like the idea of a Kamala Harris possibly jumping in also was showing you this vast divide in terms of, well, it's just never going to happen. Well, that's where we're going into this debate. So you may see that collapse just a little bit, but she needs it to really collapse, and it's not happening. And so in time, in another week, once again, he will regain the momentum because facts are on his side. And there's something to be said for that.